Hello and welcome back to Fallonits. It is just me today. No guests, no fancy edits. Just a guy sitting here pretending to talk to his 18-year-old self. And honestly, that version of me was an idiot. I mean that with love. But he thought he knew everything. He thought life had a manual that he just hadn't found yet. Spoiler alert, there is no manual. There is only trial and error and a lot of embarrassing moments. So today, I want to do something useful. I want to walk you through the skills I would force myself to learn if I could go back to being 18. Not the fake skills like how to look busy at work. Not the toxic skills like how to manipulate people. Real skills. The kind that make your life easier, richer, and way less stressful. Grab a snack. Sit down. Pretend we are having a coffee. And let's get into it. First skill, and I cannot stress this enough. Learn how to actually listen. Not the waiting for your turn to speak kind of listening. Real listening. Most teenagers, including me at 18, treated conversations like a tennis match. You say something, I hit it back. I say something, you hit it back. But real listening is different. Real listening is like opening a door and letting the other person walk through it. You do not need to have an answer for everything. You do not need to fix their problem. You just need to be there. Why is this a skill? Because people are starved for attention. Real attention. Not likes. Not views. Just one human being who actually hears them. When you listen like that, doors open. Relationships deepen. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. I learned this way too late. At 18, I was so busy thinking about what I would say next that I missed almost everything. So here's the practice. Next time someone talks to you, do not plan your response. Just listen. If there's a silence after they finish, let it sit. Nod. Say, tell me more. Watch what happens. It feels weird at first, like you are doing nothing, but that nothing is actually everything. Second skill, manage your money like a boring adult. I know, boring, but listen. At 18, I thought money was for spending. I got my first paycheck and bought a pair of sneakers that cost more than my rent. That was stupid. Not because sneakers are bad, but because I had no buffer, no safety net, no idea what an emergency fund was. Here is what I would tell my 18-year-old self. Money is not freedom to buy things. Money is freedom to say no. No to a job you hate. No to a toxic friend who owes you cash. No to living with your parents until you are 30. That is what money really buys. Options. So learn the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your income goes to needs. Rent, food, bus fare, cheap phone bill. 30% goes to wants. Pizza, games, that one streaming service, coffee with friends. 20% goes to savings and investments. Not later. Now, even if it is $10 a week. Even if it feels pointless. Start, because compound interest is the closest thing in life to a magic trick. $10 a week at 8% return from age 18 to 65 turns into something like $300,000. That is not a typo. $300,000 just from skipping 2 lattes a week. And the best part? You do not have to be smart. You just have to be consistent. Open a high-yield savings account. Download a stupid app that rounds up your change. Automate everything. Future you will wake up one day with $10,000 in the bank and cry happy tears. I promise. Third skill. Learn to say no without explaining yourself. At 18, I was a people pleaser. Someone asked me to help them move on a Saturday? Yes. Someone wanted to borrow $20 I did not have? Yes. Someone invited me to a party I did not want to attend? Yes. I said yes to everything because I was terrified of being disliked. Guess what happened? I got exhausted. I got broke. And people still did not like me more. The world does not reward pushovers. The world rewards people who know their limits. Saying no is not rude. It is honest. And honest is kind. Here is a script I wish someone had given me. No, I cannot do that. No explanation. No fake emergency. No, sorry my dog ate my calendar. Just know I cannot do that. If they push, say it again. I appreciate you asking, but I am not available. If they get angry, that is their problem, not yours. The people who matter will respect your no. The people who do not respect your no are telling you exactly who they are. Believe them. So practice saying no in small things. No, I do not want fries. No, I cannot stay late. No, I will not watch that show. Every no you say to something you do not want is a yes to something you actually care about. That is not selfish. That is survival. Fourth skill, learn to be bored. I am serious. Sit with boredom. Do not reach for your phone. Do not open Instagram. Do not check YouTube. Just sit. When I was 18, boredom felt like an emergency, like my brain was on fire and the only cure was a screen. But here is the truth. Boredom is where creativity lives. Boredom is where you figure out what you actually want. When you never let yourself be bored, you are always reacting. You are never reflecting. Try this. 1 hour a week. No phone. No music. No podcast. Just you and your thoughts. Go for a walk without headphones. Sit in a park. Stare at a wall if you have to. At first, it is uncomfortable. Your brain will scream for dopamine. But after a while, something shifts. You start thinking about your life. What is working? What is not? What you actually enjoy versus what you just consume. That is gold. That is the kind of clarity that no influencer can give you. So embrace the boring. It is not empty space. It is the soil where your future self grows. Fifth skill, learn how to cook 3 things really well. Not gourmet stuff. Not Michelin star nonsense. Just 3 solid meals. For me, it would be eggs any style, a decent pasta with vegetables, and a rice and bean situation. Why 3? Because life gets hard. When you are tired, broke, or heartbroken, you will not cook a feast, but you will cook the thing you know by heart. Cooking saves money. A lot of money. Eating out or ordering delivery every day at 18 adds up to thousands of dollars a year. Thousands. That is money that could be a down payment on a car, or a trip, or an emergency fund. Cooking also impresses people. Not the fake kind of impressing. The real kind. You invite someone over, cook them eggs at midnight, and suddenly you are not just a teenager. You are an adult, a capable person. That is attractive. That is powerful. So pick 3 meals. Watch a few videos. Burn some eggs. It is fine. Learn the skill. Future you will thank you every single time you open a fridge and actually know what to do. 6th skill. Learn to ask for help. This one hurts to admit. At 18, I thought asking for help was weakness. I thought I had to figure everything out alone. That is a lie. A dangerous one. Humans are not meant to be alone. We are meant to lean on each other. Asking for help is not giving up. It is giving people a chance to show up for you. And people want to help. It makes them feel useful. It builds connection. But you have to actually say the words. I am struggling. Can you talk? I do not understand this math problem. Can you explain it? I feel lost. Can you just sit with me for a minute? Those words are hard. I get it. Your throat closes up. Your face gets hot. But say them anyway. Start small. Ask a teacher for an extension. Ask a friend to proofread your essay. Ask a parent for advice, even if you think they will not get it. Every time you ask for help, you get a little braver. And you realize that most people are kind. Most people want to help. The ones who are not, they are not your people. Find your people. Let them help you. Then help them back. That is how community works. That is how you survive the hard years. 7th skill. Learn to be wrong. Publicly. Quickly. Without crying. At 18, I was terrified of being wrong. I would defend my bad opinions like my life depended on it. I would argue about bands, about politics, about which pizza place was best. I would rather be right than happy. What a waste. Being wrong is not a failure. It is data. It means you learned something new. It means your model of the world just got a little more accurate. The smartest people I know are not the ones who are never wrong. They are the ones who say, oh wow, I was totally wrong. Thank you for telling me. Then they change their mind. That takes strength. That takes confidence. So practice being wrong. Guess the answer to a question. Be wrong. Laugh about it. Say, well, I learned something today. That is it. That is the skill. Your ego is not your friend. Your ego wants to be right. Your life wants to be better. Choose better. 8th skill. Learn to exercise without hating it. I am not telling you to become a gym bro. I am not telling you to run a marathon. I am telling you to move your body in a way that feels good for 30 minutes a day. That is it. Walk, dance in your room, stretch, do push-ups during YouTube ads. Whatever works. Why does this matter? Because your body is the only place you have to live. At 18, you feel invincible. Your back does not hurt. Your knees do not click. But that changes faster than you think. By 25, you will feel the laziness of your 18-year-old self. Trust me, I ignored my body for years. I sat in chairs. I ate junk. I thought exercise was for athletes. Then one day, I could not tie my shoes without breathing heavily. That was a wake-up call. So do not train for abs. Train for energy. Train for mood. Exercise releases endorphins. It reduces anxiety. It helps you sleep. It makes you look better, sure, but more importantly, it makes you feel like a capable human. Start stupidly small. 1 push-up, 1-minute walk. Do it every day. Then 2 push-ups, 2 minutes. The habit is more important than the intensity. Show up for your body like you would show up for a friend. Your body will pay you back in spades. 9th skill. Learn to ask yourself, what do I really want? Not what your parents want. Not what your friends want. Not what Instagram tells you to want. What do you actually want? When you are alone, when no one is watching, when you are not performing. At 18, I had no idea. I wanted what everyone else wanted. A degree, a job, a relationship, a car. But those were not my desires. They were scripts. I was following a script someone else wrote, and it made me miserable. So here's the practice. Sit down with a notebook. Write this question at the top. If I was not afraid, what would I do? Then write. Do not judge. Do not edit. Just write. Maybe you want to paint. Maybe you want to move to a different city. Maybe you want to quit social media. Maybe you want to learn guitar. It does not have to be big. It just has to be yours. Then take 1 small step toward that thing. Just 1. Draw for 10 minutes. Research apartments in that city. Delete 1 app. Tune the guitar. That step is everything. Because wanting is not enough. You have to move. And the movement tells your brain that you are serious. That what you want matters. That you are not just a passenger in your own life. You are the driver. 10th skill. Learn to forgive yourself. This is the hardest one. At 18, you will make mistakes. Big ones. Embarrassing ones. The kind that keep you awake at 3 in the morning 10 years later. I know because I have them. The time I was cruel to a friend. The time I wasted a whole year on something that did not matter. The time I hurt someone who did not deserve it. I cannot go back and change those things. Neither can you. But you can forgive yourself. Not because what you did was okay, but because holding on to shame does not help anyone. It just makes you smaller. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is saying I did that. It was wrong. I learned. Now I move forward. You are going to mess up. You are going to say stupid things. You're going to fail classes, lose jobs, ruin relationships. That is not a tragedy. That is being human. The tragedy is staying stuck in shame. So practice self-forgiveness. When you make a mistake, say out loud, I forgive myself. It feels fake at first. Say it anyway. Over time, it becomes real. And that real forgiveness is the foundation of everything else. Without it, you cannot grow. You cannot try new things. You cannot take risks. Because you are too scared of being wrong again. So forgive yourself. Today, for that thing you are still cringing about, let it go. You have better things to do. 11th skill. Learn to negotiate. Everything is negotiable. Your salary, your rent, your deadline, your phone bill, your curfew. Most people never ask. They just accept the first offer. That is a mistake. Negotiation is not being aggressive. It is being clear about what you want and asking for it politely. Here is a simple script. Is that the best you can do? That is it. For words, say it with a smile. Say it like you are curious. Not angry. Not desperate. Just curious. You would be shocked how often the answer is, well, let me check. Then they come back with something better. Why? because asking costs you nothing. The worst they can say is no, and no is the same as not asking. So you have nothing to lose. Practice on small things. Ask for a discount on a used item. Ask for an extra day on an assignment. Ask for a better table at a restaurant. Every time you negotiate, you build a muscle, and that muscle pays dividends. Over a lifetime, learning to negotiate can add hundreds of thousands of dollars to your earnings. That is not an exaggeration. That is math. So ask, be polite, be clear, and watch what happens. 12th skill. Learn to be alone. Not lonely. Alone. There is a difference. Loneliness is wanting connection and not having it. Aloneness is choosing to spend time with yourself. At 18, I was terrified of being alone. I filled every silence with noise, music, podcasts, texting, anything to avoid sitting with myself. But you cannot run from yourself forever. Eventually, you have to sit down and get to know the person you are. That is what alone time is for. It is a date with yourself. So take yourself out. Go to a movie alone. Eat at a restaurant alone. Sit in a coffee shop with a book. No phone. No distraction. Just you and the world. At first, it feels weird. You think everyone is staring. They are not. They are too busy worrying about themselves. After a while, you start to enjoy it. You realize that you are good company. You have interesting thoughts. You can entertain yourself. That is a superpower. Because when you are comfortable alone, you stop making desperate choices. You do not stay in bad relationships. You do not take terrible jobs. You do not say yes to things you hate just to avoid silence. You become free. And freedom starts right here, alone, on a Tuesday afternoon with nobody watching. 13th skill. Learn to manage your energy, not your time. Time management is a lie. You cannot manage time. Time passes whether you like it or not. What you can manage is your energy. At 18, I thought I could work 8 hours, go out with friends, stay up late, and do it all again. I was wrong. Some hours are worth more than others. Your best energy is probably in the morning, or maybe late at night. Find your peak hours. Protect them like an angry dog. Do your hardest work then. Do shallow stuff like email and laundry when you are tired. And for the love of everything, sleep. Sleep is not lazy. Sleep is when your brain cleans itself, when your body repairs, when your emotions reset. If you sacrifice sleep, you sacrifice everything. So track your energy for a week. When you feel sharp, when you feel foggy, adjust your schedule. Do not fight your biology. Work with it. You will get more done in 3 focused hours than in 10 exhaustive ones. That is not a theory. That is a fact. 14th skill. Learn to stop comparing yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy. You know the quote, but you still do it. You look at someone on Instagram and think, why are they so far ahead? Why am I so behind? Here is the secret. Their life is not real. It is a highlight reel. They are not posting their breakdowns, their debt, their fights, their failures. They are posting the best 3 seconds of their week. You are comparing your behind-the-scenes footage to their greatest hit. That is not fair. That is not even useful. The only person you should compare yourself to is you from yesterday. Did you learn one thing? Did you do one kind thing? Did you take one small step? Then you are winning. That is the only score that matters. So unfollow accounts that make you feel small. Mute the people who trigger your envy. Curate your feed like your mental health depends on it. Because it does. And when the comparison voice starts whispering, say this out loud. I am on my own path. That is not my story. Then go do something real. Call a friend. Go outside. Make something with your hands. Reality is always better than the highlight reel. 15th skill. Learn to keep your word. This sounds old-fashioned, but it is the most valuable skill on this list. If you say you will do something, do it. If you say you will be there at 7, be there at 6:55. If you promise to help, help. Your word is your reputation, and your reputation is the only thing that follows you everywhere. At 18, I made small promises and broke them casually. Yeah, I will text you. Yeah, I will show up. Yeah, I will pay you back. Then I did not, and people noticed. They did not say anything, but they stopped trusting me. Trust is built in drops and lost in buckets. Every time you keep a small promise, you deposit a drop. Every time you break one, you lose the whole bucket. So start small. If you say you will reply to a message, reply. If you say you will call at 3, call at 3. If you cannot keep a promise, say so before the deadline. I am sorry I cannot make it. That is honest. That is respectful. People understand. What they do not understand is silence and broken promises. Be the person who does what they say. That person gets hired. That person gets loved. That person gets trusted with big things. Be that person. All right, that is the list. 15 skills. But here is the truth. You do not need to learn all of them at once. That is impossible. You will fail. Pick one. Just one. Listen better. Or cook one meal. Or save $20. Do that for 2 weeks. Then add another. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. You have time. You are 18 or 20 or 25. It does not matter. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. So here is your challenge from Falonets. After this video ends, do not scroll away. Do not watch another video. Sit for 60 seconds. Be bored. Think about one skill from this list that would change your life. Write it down. On your hand. On a note. On your mirror. Then do one tiny thing about it today. Just one. That is it. That is how you become the person you want to be. Not in a montage. Not in a big dramatic moment. In 1,000 small boring choices that no one claps for. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. If this helped you, share it with one person. Not 10. One. Because that one person might really need to hear it. And hey, if you're watching this and you are not 18, it is fine. You are the exact age you need to be. Start anyway. This is Falonets signing off. Take care of yourself. You matter more than you know. See you in the next one.